This meeting of the Oak Park City Council is called to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk Ed Norris, please call the roll.
Mayor McClellan?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Levine?
Here.
Councilmember Sellickson?
Here.
Councilmember Burns?
Here.
Councilmember Speech?
Okay. We have a quorum. Is there a motion to excuse this absence?
Madam Mayor, if I could.
Yes.
I just wanted to remind council, I did receive a communication, our councilmember Speech is out ill.
Okay. We have a motion?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, what was that communication? What was it about? What does it say?
I didn't hear it.
Councilmember Speech provided a communication. She is out ill this evening and has requested an excused absence.
In that case, I'll move the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. I would like to add to the agenda item 7C, a presentation by CNU 24. Motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the consent agenda, which is a series of routine items that are presented as one item for approval without discussion. Any council member can ask for something to be removed from this list and drop from the blanket motion of approval. The items on today's consent agenda: A, regular council meeting minutes of May 18th, 2015. Request to cancel the June 8th meeting of the Planning Commission. C, Zoning Board of Appeals meeting minutes of November 25th. D, Communications Commission meeting minutes of April 15th. E, Emergency Services Council meeting minutes of April 13th. F, Payment application number 1 for the 2015 miscellaneous concrete repair project M603 to Mattioli Cement Company Limited for the amount of $112,892.58. G, request to appoint Rocco Fortura as the representative and Kevin Yee as the alternate representative to the SACRA board for the fiscal year beginning July 1st. Licenses, new and renewals is submitted for June 1st, 2015. Motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Burns?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Levine?
Yes.
Mayor McClellan?
Yes,
Councilmember Sellickson?
Yes.
motion carried. Next, we have recognition of visiting elected officials, and we are pleased to welcome Karen Toomey from Ferndale Schools to give us an update on what's new.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and esteemed council members. Thank you so much for having me this evening. I apologize that I don't make it that often, but it seems that we serve on the same night, so I just always feel very grateful when there's a night that I can come by and check in. So as with many schools right now, we have been fortunate to watch many of our Eagles fly off in graduation, and we're very proud that between our schools, we graduated more than 200 students, and these students brought in over $5 million worth of scholarships. So we're really proud of the things that they've accomplished, and especially the places that they are going. Everywhere from MIT to Johns Hopkins, we have students going even as far as Edinburgh or as close as any of our state universities, Bowling Green. Just wonderful places and successes to be sharing. We also have a National Merit Scholarship winner, so our Gates Millennium Scholarship winner is making us quite proud as well. One thing that I have personally been enjoying as a mother since the time I had children is our June Fair, and that is coming up this Friday. So if you're watching at home, please do make sure to bring your children this Friday to Roosevelt Elementary School. It's a June Fair open to everybody. Get ready for bouncy houses and all the usual fun. I also like to watch the children playing in the jazz band, and that festivity all starts at 6 o'clock. Something that we've been particularly proud of is our Little Eagles program for preschool children. And a new addition is going to be a Little Eagles Summer Camp, and these are free and open to all students. And so please do feel free to come and join us and see a little bit about what our community is about. And some of them are for parents and children, some are just for children. So anybody interested in the Little Eagles Summer Camps can look on our website. As with all the other information, that is found at www.ferndaleschools.org. So please do join us there and find also out about many other summer opportunities that we have for parents and children and community to get together, because in Ferndale, we're really excited that we're offering a whole family experience. So thank you for the time.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, and one other thing, I'm so sorry. It wasn't in my little talking notes, but I have to tell you that I'm really excited by the fact that we have started a new program in Ferndale. It's the Cambridge program, and so many people have probably heard about the International Baccalaureate program. These IB programs are popping up all over the state. But we in Ferndale are the first in Michigan to be offering the Cambridge program. So students who are looking for a new level of rigor and something that is internationally normed and competitive can now find that in Ferndale. So we are one of a kind Cambridge schools starting in the fall. So anybody interested in that can also find that at ferndaleschools.org. Thank you.
Thank you. We don't have public hearings or communications or special licenses. Item 11 is accounting reports. Oh, wait, sorry. City manager, we skipped right past 7. Trying to get Michael out on time. There we go. City manager employee recognition. Very deserving recipient, has worked through all of our ups and downs in the finance department with new computer programs, and she's lived through all the excitement. And we'd like to ask City Manager Eric Tungate to recognize Finance Director Gail Credit.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And for those of you that don't know Gail, she's trying to hide right here in the audience. Gail came to us about a year and a half ago, and thank goodness that she did. The department was in some transition when she arrived. She provided financial know-how, a sense of stability, common sense, isn't so common, right? And is just generally a wonderful person to be around. And that means a lot on a great team of directors that we have. And I also wanted to, before I embarrass you more, Gail, and bring you up here and we can take some photos, I also wanted to make another announcement and acknowledgement that today I received from the Government Finance Officers Association. Dear Mr. Tungate, we are pleased to notify you that your comprehensive annual financial report for the fiscal year ended June 30, 2014 qualifies for a certificate of achievement for excellence in financial reporting. The certificate of achievement is the highest form of recognition in governmental accounting in financial reporting, and its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by government and its management. An award for the Certificate of Achievement has been mailed to Gail Credit, and I give you all the credit for giving us this and putting us in this fine position. And last thing I'll say is that Gail is retiring now for the second time. She was deputy superintendent of a school district in Oakland County, and she's riding off into brighter pastures. So we thank you so much for everything you've done for us. Okay, and now I get to embarrass you with the photo sessions here. So City Council members, if you join me.
Now we have another special treat for you. We have a presentation by the Congress for New Urbanism. And they held a workshop earlier today, that was phenomenal. There were 4 tables of busy, active Oak Parkers talking about what they would like to see, their dream for 9 Mile and Coolidge area. And if you didn't have a chance to get there, you have another chance tomorrow between 1 and 5 in the community center. Go on in and check out what's happening, and we want your opinion. And then Wednesday at 2 o'clock, there's going to be a final presentation that we will be filming. But right now, we'd like to welcome Marcy McGinley to come on up and explain about new urbanism.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. Thanks for inviting us to your city. I'm just going to give you a very brief description of what people said at the workshop, and that will give you, I think, some idea of what new urbanism is about. We had 4 tables, about 30 people came in and went through a quick and painless exercise where they talked to us about their vision for 9 Mile. 9 Mile has been selected as the subject for this Congress for the New Urbanism sponsored workshop over the next few days, as it is one of the key items in your economic development strategic plan. So we brought in an engineer and our staff person and an urban designer to work over the next few days directly with the people that are involved in your city staff that will be implementing the plan. But first tonight we wanted to hear from people who wanted to drop by and share with us. And we heard some very interesting comments. First of all, there were 4 tables of people working together, but they had to reach a little bit of consensus. So what I'm about to tell you aren't just individual opinions. They're all things that people had to discuss with each other and come to some agreement on. And down to each table, we heard very similar themes. As fits Oak Park, the city, people want green and trees on this street. They value better bike facilities, down to parking for bikes at transit shelters so that people could actually bike and use transit and very securely leave their bike for the day. They value pedestrians, down to describing, I think, a very Oak Park specific metric that it should allow 2 strollers side by side, people with strollers, to walk together. Better transit stations, maybe ones that are warmed in the winter, and down to some buildings and facade improvement as well, better use of some of the space on some property. So we were talking to them about the entire length, although some of our focus over the next few days will be at Coolidge and 9 Mile. We had some really clever and unique ideas: linear park with dog trails or dog walking trails, solar-powered night lights so that people can promenade in the evenings. And altogether, it was a really entertaining and useful workshop. Then we asked people to also give us a different a term for road diet. That's what is commonly called what we're trying to do here, where we're reducing the number of lanes on a street that carries just 9,000 cars per day. It's an ideal candidate for this kind of transformation. So we asked people to give us an idea of what else we could call this besides something that has a negative connotation, such as a diet. And we heard road slendering, efficient streets, road diversification, road rehab, and we got all together about a dozen new names that I think are going to be tweeted about quite a bit, because everyone's looking for new names for the term road diet. So thank you for inviting us here, and we'll enjoy more of this work over the next few days, and I'll look forward to talking to you more about it on Wednesday. Thanks.
Thank you so much. That's great news. Now we're down to accounting reports. 11A, approval for payment of an invoice. Sorry? 7B. We've got another presentation about the website. That's more fabulous news, because the website's been not real user-friendly. and we've been talking about doing something wonderful with the website for a long time. So we have new city website presentation, and who is presenting?
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council. Just for everyone else, I am the assistant to the city manager, somewhat of a new position here, so I've been settling in, and this is one of my first projects. This is Joseph Nagrant. He is from Revise, so he's going to speak a little bit about this with me, and I'm going to kind of introduce it, and then we'll look at what we've got. So as you know, we've been working with Revise on the much-needed rehabilitation of our city's website. A small group of staff members, including myself, Communications Director Jocelyn Davis, IT Director Jeff Shefke, and Matt Brandemart, our IT and Communications Specialist. We've been spearheading the project. And we've been very cognizant of the fact that a city's website is really, most times, its first line of communications with not only its residents, but all stakeholders. So it's very important to us that our final project our final outcome is something that's easily navigable to everybody and offers the information that people are looking for. So just to give you, before we put it up on the screen, just to give you a little background of the process that we've been going through so far and kind of where we got to where we are now. We had our first meeting with Revise in March. So since then, we've been working together with them, essentially just right now in the look and the feel of the website. So the design, and we've been doing so through solely the design of the homepage. So once we get that finalized, the design of the homepage, it's at that point that we can move forward with our content and the inside pages of the website. Through our contract with Revise, we have 3 major changes that we can come back to them with. So we've gone back and forth with them twice now, and before our last one, we really wanted to get some feedback. So we've took it in front of our executive staff, we've gotten feedback from them, and now we want to present it to you and offer you a chance for your feedback. While we went through this process, we really wanted to keep in mind that the website, that we wanted to continue branding our city. So through our strategic plan, I think the city has worked together to produce its identity. And we really want to make sure that the website is in line with that we kind of keep pushing our branding. So from there, I will introduce Joe again. We're going to put our...
Before we introduce him,
Yeah.
City Manager Tungay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to piggyback on something you said, Crystal, that council members and for those in the public here and at home, this will be just the front page, the home page that we're about to see. So we're not going to dive any deeper, but once we
Correct.
develop that, crystallize that front page, then we'll move from there. Did you like that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, essentially, we need to get the look and the feel down, and then that will guide the rest of the web page. So it just makes more sense that we get the home page intact, and then from there, that will guide the look of the inside of the website, and then we will work with them, and we'll have a timeline for producing our content.
So this is more layout and aesthetics
Yes,
tonight,
layout,
as far as-
design,
okay.
yeah, very basic.
Okay.
The look and the feel is what we're calling
Okay,
it.
so none of the drill down and that
Yes,
stuff. that'll
none of
come
the
later.
really
Okay.
specific things quite yet. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Joe Nagrant from Revise. I'm the Business Development Director and the Project Overseer for this project. For those of you that don't know Revise, we are one of the leading website vendors for government design and websites and content editing. And we're located, minutes away from your office here, so it's great for everything. When we met together as a group, as Crystal indicated, we felt this is a time to rebrand the city to show off the positive aspects. 2 other aspects were also very important is number one, over 54% of the residents in this area are coming to municipal websites on handheld devices. So it has to look great, not just the way you're going to see it now on a PC, but also on a smartphone. So residents can utilize it without having to zoom in on the text, and it looks beautiful with the graphics, as well as liquefy the content so you don't have to zoom into it. And the third aspect is to make it a self-government website. The whole idea is there's so many things that the residents are asking for on a daily basis. We want this to be the go-to place before they even think of making that phone call or sending off that email. So keeping all that in mind, you have to do it for just the placement of the homepage. From all the extensive interviews we've done with residents in other municipalities, around 30,000 in population, there are a couple things that kept coming back to us that we've incorporated into this site. Not only that, but your website is going to be a brand-new, very progressive municipal website that's going to be a unique first for the United States. It encompasses a couple of design methodologies called open branding and paneling. So essentially, the way it's laid out is that on the home page itself, you're going to have nice, easy navigation so the residents can get up to it. This picture over here is going to be a rotating photo gallery. So you can switch out pictures on, let's say, a monthly basis based on the seasons or some of the projects you might be working on. You might want to take a couple of pictures and put them up there so the residents start seeing the progress of what their government is doing for them. The other aspect is when we talk with residents, they want to be able to get to the information they're looking for within 2 to 3 clicks. So the homepage cannot be a news center like we used to build websites. It has to be clean, less text, but more engagement so you can get to what you're looking for. So right over here is called the topic slider. There'll be important information that residents can easily just click on this arrow button and cycle through to, oh, here's the document center. Oh, here's minutes and agendas. Oh, here's how I can pay for a bill online, rather than having to utilize the navigation. But then we have more of the traditional items down here that what residents go for. Popular links to information that they're looking for. News items, no more than 3. Any more than 3, the residents won't even read the first one. Okay, so there's a method to our madness here. A calendar here. When there's some important events on there, they'll be able to highlight a particular date to see what's all happening on that day, but they can also select on all events and get to the full calendar. You'll have unlimited calendars. So each department, each planning commission, whatever organization or department needs their own calendar, they'll have it. It'll roll on up to a master calendar so you can see everything in its entirety at one spot. But we're also going to have other types of applications in there, other government applications, so they can get into information. And then down here, frequently asked questions, helpful links. So as you can see, although it seems as if although it is a clean homepage, it's going to be something that someone will come to, and they won't have to think on what's that first button they're going to hit. And then they're going to be at the information. So those are all the things that we've been discussing and we'll be creating for the design. So this layout for your new website is perfect for that type of communication, for self-government.
I do want to make one comment. This is a static image, so there are some functions on here that you can't see. I brought up Blue Ash's websites just to show them.
Sure.
So Revise has done this website right here, and essentially, just to show you some of the functionalities of the website that you don't see on our static image, like these images changing. You'll see this top bar stays, but it minimizes. So ours will do something similar to that. And then this kind of just shows these 3 as they move along. And we can also have them move on their own if we'd like to and time them. So we just wanted to show you that because this shows a little bit more of the functionality. It's not exactly what ours will look like, but it shows some of the functions that you can't get from the static image over here.
So real briefly, the reason why Crystal showed that stationary navigation is this really works out great for senior citizens. They get scared if they have to scroll and they can't get back up to the top. So it works for people like myself too. I like it. But this way they feel very comfortable working on a system. Now, the other thing too is as a government, in all of our studies with government leadership, they always say, you know what? I think we're losing that important communication demographic of residents 24 years old to 48 years old. When they find out why, it's because their city is not communicating to them in the way they want to be communicated to, which is social media. So we'll be adding on this, it's called a sharing social media toolbar. It allows a resident to go to a particular page. If they're excited about that, they'll click right over here. They'll pull that content into their personal Facebook, and they post to their families. Hey, what do you think about this new program? Hey, there's a live band, at the community center this weekend. You want to go? It allows them to be participating as well with the excitement of the redevelopment of the areas and the new things that are happening here in Oak Park, and allow them to be the promoters of all the positive aspects rather than, the mayor. It's funny, if you don't mind me saying, I'm taking up a little bit of time. I spoke with a lot of different mayors. And they say by doing this, they have a better camaraderie from the residents, because when a resident promotes something positive of the city, there's more credibility than if the mayor does. So I apologize, don't kick me out of here, but this is how residents will be engaged and more involved in the website. Sorry, Crystal.
Oh, it's okay. I'll just pull this back up just in case. I apologize, if you do see it up there, it's a little bit hard to see. It's a little bit distorted up on the screen, so the coloring's a little bit off, but you guys can all look at it down here if you want to at some point.
So is there a search? I think I see a search button up there.
There's a search right here. I also want to note that one change that we've already made, I don't know if you can read these say home government departments, business and residence. Home will be changed. You can always get to home by clicking on the logo. So we'd like to put online services up there, especially because we're expanding on our online services. We want to make sure that that's one thing that residents can get to very quickly. I'd also like to note that these popular links, although you cannot read them, those can be, we can choose what's on there or see what people need to get to the most. So we can kind of change that to what we need to do. And the same with these three up here. Again, you can't read it so well up here, but this says city council. Agendas and minutes, that's been a big thing that we know residents would like to be able to find a little bit easier. And then this one says events, city events. But we can change those as well for what information residents need to get to the easiest.
So if I'm a new resident, I can do a search, new resident handbook, and
Yes, yep.
find my handbook.
Yep.
Any questions from council members? Mayor Pro Tem Levine.
I'm just all about interaction and people being able to use this site. People need it to be connected to a service that the government can connect them with. Perfect. Microphone's not on. Okay, I'm all about interaction. I want residents to be able to, before they have to reach out to us, to have availability of services that are going to be important to them. All those types of connections and links right there. Also, I think we need a tour of Oak Park. Not a new member packet, not a link to a PDF, but a tour of Oak Park, because we'll have people that are considering moving here. We'll have people that are new here. They don't know all the amenities and all the things that the city has to offer. No better place than here than to showcase that.
Good idea.
Councilmember Burns.
I think the website looks beautiful. I just want to ensure that it is user-friendly. We have a lot of our residents that are new to computers and the internet and clicking and pointing. And I think you mentioned earlier that most people will be able to get to their desired location within 2 to 3 links. And I just want to make sure that the information that they're looking for is obvious. If they can go to a department and it instantly pulls up recycling or our committees. If we have a button that says committees, sometimes you have to search to find those type of intricate details. And also, I just wanted to ensure, you said the photo will be a changing
Correct,
site,
yeah.
like we saw previously in the demonstration that you
Yes.
gave? Okay.
And
Other
we'll
than
get
that-
to kind of go through what photos we'd like those to be too. And to your point, I think, and Joe can talk to this a little bit more, but these two, it says business and residence up top, and I think those 2 buttons are very important because when people don't know where to find things, if you are a business owner, it's very easy when you go there and you say, I need to find my permits or whatnot, and I don't know where to find that. They just go to business. And if you're a resident and you say, my resident handbook or something, my leaf pickup, those types of things, those types of things will be easily found under residence. So it's kind of that's a nice, I think, which is, to me, I've seen it a little bit, it's a newer tool, I feel, that you find in government websites nowadays.
Yeah, what it's called is a web audience center. So like Krista was saying, and she was dead on with it, if I'm a resident, I don't have to think. I click on residents, and now I'm in the area of the website that's all about me and my needs. Not a business, not a visitor, me, the resident. It's all right there. So like you indicated, I can click and get that information right then and there. So that's how we meet that 2 to 3 click rule. Also too, if you have any incentives for business, an incentive to start up your own business in the area. If I'm in the business area, I can highlight those types of things. And the last item I'd like to bring on up is we're going to be putting in programming into the website. So if someone's just typing in municipal incentive for a startup business, you're gonna have a higher search engine attraction to that actual page. It'll come up in the rankings, so when they hit it, they go right to that page, so they won't even have to even come to your homepage. So there's a lot of things behind the scenes, technology-wise, that'll be able to bring the people that are interested in particular topics, whether local or outside of your local geography, right to the information.
And for our younger techie people and for social media people, did you mention that there would be icons on the homepage that, because on a lot of our committees and the city of Oak Park, we do have a web page on Facebook.
Yes,
So
it'll
those
look
things-
similar to this, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I keep thinking you can see it when I can see it. There will be links on the top to Facebook, and like Joe said, if you want to quickly post on Facebook something that you saw on the website, you can do that as well. So those will be very easy to get to and very easily identifiable.
Okay, thank you.
City Manager Tonga.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Joe, one thing that we talked about, I don't know if you can pull that back up, but one thing we talked about in the executive staff meeting, you know, go to the top there, the other way, yeah. The logo looked a little bit disproportionate to me, to the photo and to the city.
Yeah, basically what we're seeing, like over here, it's skinny and tall, there it's short and fat.
Okay.
It's just because of the technology we have there for showing it, it doesn't look appropriate. But when you take a look at the actual proof, it should be the right size, and we're utilizing it directly from your vector graphic that you're utilizing for printing and stuff like that. So if that's off, ours is gonna be off.
And I think just lastly, I know we discussed just that sort of pop, that wow factor kind of thing with the colors of the Oak Park. They were just, I think, a little bit not as eye-catching maybe. And I don't know what the letter font is there, but I don't know, you know, I don't know if that could be changed or not. But it just, if you go back to that Blue Ash website, it looks like, you know, to me, that pops a little bit more than the replica. I mean, to me, that really grabs you. So I don't know if something can be done to give it a little bit more wow factor in that.
Well, one thing that we are working with is your official logo for the city. If you want that to pop, we can redo your logo, but then you're gonna redo a lot of other stuff here. We don't wanna do that.
We just went through that exercise.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
we're gonna pass on that. I'm gonna speak
Okay,
for the.
right. You know, so there are some things that can be done. Go ahead, Kristen.
We haven't talked to Joe about this yet, and we do have one last change within the contract before any additional money is put into it. But, so we do have one more time to come back to them with any aesthetic changes that we have. And we've been messing around. I haven't talked to Joe about it yet, but about different fonts and about possibly a darker green back here to make Oak Park pop, maybe Oak Park in white. So we are playing around with those things, and we can certainly bring them in front of you as well, too.
And changing out the pictures too to more eye-catching pictures that pop too. That'll help out as well.
Councilmember Burns.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say that although the picture you had was beautiful, it just didn't, it was a little boring. So
We need it
it's-
with the flowers.
That's
blooming.
City Hall. This is a beautiful place. What are you talking
Yeah, it is
about?
beautiful, but it's not,
With the flowers doing out here.
right.
We
Yeah,
need a
maybe like
picture
the
with the
flowers or.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
something
idea
like
we did
that,
have
yeah.
too is because we want to push this community, culture, commerce, the 3 Cs that we have, which is part of our branding. So we've, tossed around the ideas of having pictures that kind of pushed those themes. So that's definitely some of the intricacies that we can really center on later on, and the pictures that we want to use and things like that. So, yeah, this is kind of just a placeholder, you could call it for now,
Okay, great.
if we want it to be, yeah.
Thank you.
So if I want to apply to a board or commission, I would go under resident, and it should be easy to find then?
Yeah, we haven't gotten to the site mapping yet, and that's our next step. So once we finalize the look and the feel, then we move into the next steps, and then we'll get into what links you'll find under which headings. So, yeah.
And,
But most likely, anything that a resident would look for, we'll put under those, or government. We'll try to, they'll make sense where we put them, definitely.
If I want to know, when are they going to get around to plowing my street?
Yes, those things will be under there as well, and they can always search anything that they're looking for as well. So in the search box.
Okay, so you'll send city council members that mock-up that you have?
Yes, yeah, you guys can definitely, I think that it'll be nice to have your input on those and where it's easiest to find those things. So we'll definitely be running those things by you, the Communications Commission as well, so.
Yep. Wonderful, this is very exciting, very exciting.
It is
Long
for us
time
as well.
coming.
All right,
Anything further?
that's it.
All right,
Thanks,
thank
Joe.
you.
Thank you
everybody.
for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're on number 11. Just kidding before. Approval for payment of an invoice submitted by Seacrest, Wardle, Lynch, Hampton, Truex, and Morley for legal services in the amount of $5,919.60. We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion or questions? Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Levine.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Seligson.
Yes.
Councilmember Burns.
Yes.
Motion carried. We are now on item 13, which is ordinances. We are on second reading and adoption of an ordinance to amend section 1001, permitted uses, of Article 10, Office Building District, Appendix A, zoning of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Oak Park, Michigan. This is to allow small office buildings to have maybe drugstore in there or other things that at this point are not allowed that would make it more user-friendly. A motion to approve the second reading and adoption.
So moved?
Second.
Any discussion or questions? Roll call, please.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Seligson.
Yes.
Councilmember Burns.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Levine.
Yes.
Motion carried. Item B, introduction and first reading of an amendment to the utility ordinance to reflect changes in various utility rates and their effective dates. Motion to pass this introduction and first reading.
So moved?
Second.
Second. Can we have someone talk about this and explain it to us, please? 13B.
Madam Mayor, Kevin, if you'll join me at the podium. This is, I want to give just a brief explanation, and I want to take some time to, at the next meeting, come in before the second reading, if you don't mind. But these are reflective of the rates that we set in the new budget to take effect on July 1st. So I wanted to clarify that. I don't know if Kevin wants to add anything, but, obviously, in years past, we've passed along the rate increases to our residents, and, this is no different than before. We tried to lessen the blow as much as possible. Kevin, I don't know if you want to add.
Sure, what I can add, thank you. What I can add is that DWSD has changed the way that they charge their rates. Before, it was purely based on a water usage rate, and what they have done over the past few years is they've added in a fixed charge and then a per cubic foot rate as well. So it's a combined rate. So when they increase the rates or when they change the rates, it affects the way that we would charge. And I don't want to confuse things or belabor this conversation, but what it's basically doing is they're now charging us a fixed charge, and if we used the total amount of water that we are committed to under our contract, then our rate would increase, I think, 4%. But that amount of water that is in that model contract was calculated probably 10 years ago or so, and our water usage has decreased significantly since then. So it's very difficult to put a rate amount, but based on our water usage for the past couple of years, this increase is going to be significant, and we are not passing on that full increase to the residents. We're going to see how much water usage we have and look at how we charge water and have a water rate study to see where we should be. So I hope I didn't confuse things. I know it's not an easy topic to explain.
No, I want to thank you for that. And Madam Mayor, if I could, I wanted to just reiterate that this, to me, the lack of understanding maybe about some of the rate increases, to me, reflects why we budgeted for the water rate study that we did. And that water rate study will put a very principled set of criteria together that we can use to establish rates on a go-forward basis. Because like I say, in the past, we've just passed on the increases that were given to us. And as Kevin alludes to, the structure of that's changed. So we're dealing with that now. So if you don't mind, council members, I'd like to bring a more substantial presentation to the next council meeting.
I know that this is a topic that most of our residents are concerned about, so we look forward to the detailed presentation. Mayor Pro Tem Levine.
Okay, I'd just like more details to include perhaps where are the breakpoints and the amount of water, that we're using, the optimum amount of water that we could be using, say with economic developments, with some new businesses coming online. We might be able to, it might not all be looking in the rear mirror. We might be having additional usage in the future. But just kind of an explanation of where those breakpoints are and how that economic development will contribute to perhaps bringing the rates back down. I'd like to see that. I'd like to also get a better understanding, I know we're doing the study, it's going to be important, of what this proposal, if it's not recapturing all of the anticipated cost, how that's going to affect our water fund. Just to see where we're operating, what kind of margin we have. I think it's good to be clear with the residents if we have a very thin margin or if we're putting money away for a rainy day, no pun intended. I think that the residents need to know, where their money's going. So I hope that's part of the presentation as well. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, if I could, those are the exact things that the study itself will do for us, and we can allude to that to some degree. But we've gone forward with whatever our fund balance is in the water fund for many years here, and is that the appropriate fund balance to carry forward? And that's part of what we can substantiate as a result of the study. And I'd like to, with your permission, bring Brian from Plant Moran here to the next meeting, and he can discuss that in great detail. But they've really put some science to something that has been very sort of out there for many years in many different communities. So us getting on that trajectory will start setting the tone and going forward.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Further questions? So we have a motion and a second. We've had discussion. Is everyone ready for a vote? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Seligson.
Yes.
Councilmember Burns.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Levine.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes, motion carries. Item C is introduction and a first reading of an amendment to the solid waste ordinance to reflect changes in the collection rates and their effective dates. A motion to approve this, please.
So moved.
Support?
Moved and supported. Discussion or questions? Similarly, yes, Mayor Pro Tem.
Similarly, I think we need a presentation about this. I think we need to know what we're getting into, how long our contract goes with our current carrier. If our rates are going up, what kind of improved services will we see? I think people are very upset about the way that things are handled every week with garbage pickup. Things just being dumped very quickly and people's property. They do pay for those waste receptacles and things is not really honored. And we also have a situation where we want to encourage recycling. Sometimes people will put things out for recycling. They get picked up before the recycling truck comes. We need more of a partner to help meet some of our goals, and I hope that we can have them in and talk about that.
Maybe we should have Tringali come in too.
That's something we could do. Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Burns.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Levine.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes,
Councilmember Seligson.
Yes.
a motion carried. Item 14, our city attorney, John Galuli, is here to discuss a request for authorization to file an appearance.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. On behalf of the City of Oak Park, would respect your authority to file an appearance in the Michigan Tax Tribunal on behalf of the City of Oak Park in a matter of Parkwoods Plaza Center LLC versus the City of Oak Park and the Tax Tribunal docket 15-001047. This specific business entity is located at the southeast corner of Coolidge and 696. We've had good luck success on behalf of the city of Oak Park before the tribunal. We believe an appearance is necessary to protect what we believe is a proper valuation.
So we could use a motion to authorize the city attorney to file an appearance on behalf of the city.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion or questions for our city attorney? Okay, roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Levine,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes,
Councilmember Seligson.
Yes.
Councilmember Burns.
Yes.
motion carried. City Manager Eric Tungate.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to call Director Barrett up for 15A, please.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, City Manager. Which one is first?
Home renewal system.
Home renewal. Our contract with Home Renewal is expired, and we're looking to renew the contract, which provides for the agreement to be extended upon mutual agreement for all parties agreed upon for the period through the final disposition of all NSP properties and/or their expiration date of the NSP program. It is recommended that the original contract be extended through June 2nd, 2016. Attaches a resolution from the city attorney that would authorize the contract extension. It is recommended the city council adopt the resolution extending the contract for services related to marketing, home buyer assistance, and the sale of the properties acquired through the City of Oak Park Neighborhood Stabilization Program with Home Renewal Services, Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Right. This is a wonderful organization that we've worked with for many years. Is that correct?
Yes, Home Renewal provides a great service.
Okay, so motion to approve resolution extending this contract.
So moved.
Support?
Moved and supported. Are there questions or discussion? No?
Yeah.
Question?
Yeah, I was
Councilmember
just
Seligson.
curious how many homes we have currently that are in various stages of rehab, and just to get some idea how big the program is right now.
I think our total homes were 23, and all have been, 22 of them have been rehabbed and sold. We are in the possession of probably, I'm guessing right now, about 4 properties that we demoed that we own that we need to dispose of. And we have 1 home that I know for sure that we are completed the rehab on, and this is what this contract for, is to sell that home.
Thank you very much.
Anything further? No? Roll call, please.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes,
Councilmember Seligson.
Yes.
Councilmember Burns,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Levine.
Yes.
motion carried.
Director Barrett, 15B, please.
Attached to our proposed change order number 1 and payment application number 1 to D&T Home Improvement LLC for the renovation of a city-owned NSP home at 13211 Dartmouth. The proposed change order is an increase to approve bid alternate number 1 to replace the driveway, reframe the existing rafters that were sagging, replace a damaged privacy fence, and install a new drain for the rear downspout. To date, the project is 100% complete.
Okay, a motion to approve this change order.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions? Councilmember Seligson.
When I was reading this, I just wondered, in the rehab business, they saw the house and they saw everything about it. I was just thinking that they should have seen, even though it's not a large amount, but the $69.50 amount there, that's something that they should have looked at the beginning and seen that. I mean, I was just curious as to why they needed a change order and why this wasn't noticed at the beginning. That's all.
This contract, when we put together, the rehab contract is put together by myself and our building inspector. We go through and we tag all the various items. And largest item on there, the driveway replacement for $3,300, was we listed it as an alternate we were going to approve towards the end of the contract, depending on the extent of further discovery when we're rehabbing the house. And when we're coming in on budget and very few change orders, we decided to add the driveway.
Thank you very much.
Is that the same scenario with the fence?
Yes.
So there were
Well, a
items.
similar scenario with the fence. It was just an oversight. We didn't notice how bad the fence looked in the backyard, and we pulled everything together, had the new driveway, the house was looking nice. And just this spring, I thought, these homes are gonna be turned over to a low-income individual that might not have a lot of capital to take care of everything. And the fence was in atrocious condition, and we asked the contractor for a quote to repair and replace the fence.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Where does this leave the program when we complete this? Let's say we take a $20,000 loss on this. Do we have any balance left to address any of the other homes?
Okay, that's another specific question I don't have the exact answer to, but we're gonna be we'll have less than $100,000 balance by the time we're done with this project, which is gonna put us in a position not to do any rehabs on homes that are not in the realm that needs major renovations that a developer's gonna purchase. But what we could do, and I have met with our coordinator, is we will use this, we could use this funds to demo private homes that need to be condemned.
And that would include homes that may have been damaged as part of the flood with mold damage or whatever it may be.
Yes.
Councilmember Burns.
Just to address Mayor Pro Tem Levine's concern about the funds for the program being depleted. I was recently informed that Oakland County received a $5 million grant for programs just like this. So would we be able to apply for some of those funds to reestablish this program?
Yes, there is, if you're referring to the Oakland County Home Improvement Program, we do support that program, and we advertise that on our website and encourage our residents to use it. And it is used, and I can, it's probably been a few months since I looked at the results, but in Oakland County, Oak Park residents are very opportunistic and use a large percentage of the fund that's offered to all of Oakland County residents.
Okay.
Great. Further questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Seligson.
Yes.
Councilmember Burns.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Levine.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes, motion carried.
Madam Mayor, members of council, this completes the city manager report for the evening.
Thank you, City Manager Tungate. Now it's called to the audience. There is a 3-minute time limit, and please give us your name and address if you'd like to come up and say something. It's a quiet group. All right. Call to the council. Mayor Pro Tem Levine.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for everybody who came out today to take a look at the possibilities for 9 Mile Road and making improvements. And I encourage residents to come out again tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Let's get as many people out there as possible so that our residents are making the call on this, and we are hearing what your priorities are, because we do want to be able to refresh the entire 9 Mile Coolidge area and 9 Mile up and down with the type of environment that you want to see for your future here at Oak Park. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Burns.
Yes, I would just like to add to Mayor Pro Tem Levine's enthusiasm in regards to the revitalization of 9 Mile. I was part of that discussion. I was very pleased to see so many Oak Park residents appear, but I would like to see more community residents get involved. This is a program and design that will affect the community going forward, and each one of your concerns and ideas would be greatly appreciated. I would also like to congratulate the Oak Park Girls Track and Field team. They captured the 2nd straight Division I state title. Kudos to you girls.
Bravo. Councilmember Seligson.
Ditto to everything. Have a good night, everybody.
Chatty as always. Plans are moving ahead to make this year's Summerfest fantastic. We still need sponsors, so we'll be calling some businesses, and we need artists. So if you know of an artist, an Oak Park artist, Oakland County artist, Michigan artist, let them know about this opportunity. Sidewalk repairs are going ahead in Oak Park, They just did 4 squares in front of our house that look great, and I will be looking forward to the bill in February. Baseball leagues are starting soon. We've got a Mayor McClellan team and a Councilman Seligson team. We're working on a recreation plan that's going to allow us to apply for grants to improve services and parks. That exciting things are continually happening now. There was a great presentation by the Detroit Institute of Arts on Diego Rivera's exhibit. If you haven't seen it, you can get in free to the DIA, just call for reservations. We're planning to put new library computers in to replace some old ones that haven't been working well. Have a wonderful day, enjoy the spring weather. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.